What's going on, guys? Danny D2 is here, and I'm just doing just a quick check-in, just a quick video. Just dropped my son off at school, so he's off at school. But yeah, I just wanted to do a follow-up video just on what people's thoughts are on this digital ID, because I was sat at home last night. And I was thinking about it, and basically it just got me thinking that, you know, like the direction and the way in which the world is going, you know, it's it's not looking good, is it? Because you know, like they sort of like created the problem last time where they told everyone to wear a mask, you know. They created the virus, COVID, and then they offered a solution, which was the vaccine. And many people who've taken that vaccine now, you know, they're in a really, really, like, especially the ones who've had a lot of doses, you know, there's been studies in that where it's absolutely just decimated the pineal gland, but not even so much that health, like pericarditis, like young people have been having heart attacks and stuff like that. But anyway, the point I'm trying to get at is they're doing the same thing with the migration, where they're bringing people over, and they're doing that on their own accord, but yet they're trying to make out that they want to solve the problem by, what are you calling it? You know, by saying, well, if we implement a digital ID, then we can, you know, we can monitor people working here illegally. But they're the ones that are bringing them over and paying them, putting them in hotels or putting them in HMOs and offering money and giving them extra money for driving licenses, for driving lessons. Listen, you know, everything's designed to make us angry and make us mad. And listen, right, I don't blame them. Listen, if I was coming from a war-torn country, yeah, I would probably want to do the same. If someone said, right, you're going to come here, you get X, Y, Z, get a nice house, blah, blah, blah. You're going to do it, aren't you? So, listen, this is nothing against, it's nothing to do with that. But anyway, going back to what I was saying is, they're offering, see, they always hide things, yeah, and there's a hidden agenda behind it, because basically what's going to happen, right, with this digital ID, and a lot of people don't know this, is because they're rebuilding the financial rails, yeah. And when I say this, it comes in the form of what? Stable coins, yeah? USDC, or the Euro coin, or wherever you reside, the UK, GD, you know, Great British Pound. Everything is going to be, eventually, digitalised. Hence why they are pushing this digital ID, but it'll go more sinister than that, because it's not even so much so just that your currency will then be digital. Then they will start implementing. Why do you think they're spraying the skies? Because, and that's all fake, because like global warming doesn't exist, because scientists have done studies where the ice caps are actually gaining actual mass. It's not a case of you know, everything he's told is a lie. You know, I'm not, since having my awakening earlier this year, this made me wake up and realise and think to myself, you know, this agenda in which they're pushing, it's only going to get more and more and more sinister. And I've already said, right, I've sat down and had a conversation with my wife, and I said, listen, not in a million years will I comply to this. I'm a type 1 diabetic. If it means I cannot get my medicine, so be it. Listen, I do not care, right? Because I am not willing to sell my soul. Because the minute I do this, yeah, I've got a baby on the way in January. I'm literally sending her down the river, you know. So I ain't doing it, because, and listen, whatever happens to me, happens to me. If I lose, I'm even at the point, right, where I'm willing to lose everything because I've lost a lot of things in the past anyway. So I you know, it's no skin off my nose, but I just wanted to get this message out there, just to make people aware, or just people conscious of what is to come, because it's coming, and they're going to slowly implement it, like they're slowly grinding us down with inflation now, because that's done through money printing. Because what they're going to do with the money, the debt, they're going to transfer that all on to the digital system, which will then be all verified and tracked on blockchain, which is used through like crypto technology, because everything's verifiable on there and there's nowhere to hide. Because right, basically we're in a system at the moment where with cash and stuff like that. Like, I'll give you an example, like businesses like Chinese takeaways or sunbed shops, everything, or like hairdressers, they all work on a cash basis, yeah? Which is fine and good. Listen, I'm not knocking them. If anything, I commend them, because I do not blame these businesses for it, because the amount of like tax implications, and you've got to jump through these hoops, and you know, they're even putting like VAT up on anyone who earns over 50k on the businesses now. This country is absolutely, it's turning into a hellhole, but it's all done by design, because they want to what? They want to control us, yeah? That's what they want. So, you know, it's just a few things to think about moving forward, because mark my words, right, if you accept this digital ID, they will start implementing things onto it, because then they will have everything. Because how it's going to work, yeah, AI will be tracking everything, because AI is the mark of the beast, yeah? So AI, it'll be going on to one big, massive, central infrastructure, which is like what they want, which will be one algorithmic AI system, like Palantir, or like, did you even know that like BlackRock, they control one of the biggest AI systems in the world, which can track, and they already have these technologies, guys. Like BlackRock have, it's called Aladdin. Do some research on it, and they already have the technology there, ready and waiting. But what they want to do now is they want everyone's, see, they've got the AI system there, but they've not got the data at the moment is fragmented, because we've got like people in different systems. Like obviously there's cash, and there's, you know, they haven't got everything centralized to one system, if that makes sense. But that's why they want this digital ID, because the minute you sign up for this digital ID, yeah, they'll want your passport, they'll want everything. You bet if you're on benefits, they'll want your national insurance, they'll want everything, yeah, and then it'll all be tied to it, and then they'll start coming out with the carbon footprint. So then, and then they'll start taxing you for your traveling. They're already doing all these things in China, guys. You know what I mean? So just a few things for you to think about, because, you know, if we do not stand up to this, because listen, I'm willing to die on this hill, because I'm 41 years old now, yeah. I've probably got, I'd like to say I've got another 40 plus years in me. I don't look, but I cannot control that. Only the greatest, highest power, which is God, who has always guided me anyway. And I get a lot of power and strength from, you know, from God. I always have done, always been protected and stuff, and I'm very grateful for that. But, you know, I just can't, you know what I mean? Like, just seeing how the world is now, how negative people are, because people are being grinded down, yeah. But if people only knew how powerful we are, because we are literally being soul farmed, yeah. We're not just these physical bodies. We aren't just these physical bodies in which, you know, we perceive ourselves to be. And everything that was taught to us at school was a lie, to keep us in line, to make us believe something that they wanted us to believe, not what we already know that we believe that what we are. So the minute we come into this life, we're preconditioned, because all the Rockefellers, all these people and that, they control everything, the education system, the medical industry, because it's a bit like this, yeah. Why do you think they're poisoning all the food? Same with the farmers as well. Why do you think the farmers, yeah? I was watching a video this morning on TikTok, and it cost farmers £10 per kilo, or per 100. I can't remember the actual figures, but it actually costs them more to actually farm the wheat than what it does to actually, does that make sense? So basically they're having to pay to get the wheat out for the bread. And they were saying, I think they get something like, per loaf, I think they're paid 11 pence per loaf. But they said even if they was just to be paid 13 pence per loaf. And for a loaf now, how much is it? In the supermarkets, the supermarkets are lying about everything, yeah? Because it's all about what? Power and control. Because eventually, over time, right, they don't want the farmers in power. Sorry, not in power, just... Because eventually over time, they want to be controlling everything. So then you can no longer have like fresh produce. So then they can start giving you everything that's got chemicals in it, that keeps you down, that keeps you sedated, that calcifies your pineal gland, that stops you from being this pure soul essence in life that we was brought here to be. We weren't brought here to be slaves. Because, you've got to look at it like this, yeah. What did they do with the slaves, yeah? With the slaves, they give them food, water, shelter, yeah? That's what they did, yeah. They kept them captive. They made them work all day, but they give them food, water, and shelter. What do we do now, yeah? They make us work all day, yeah? Sometimes every day, because most people have to work like God knows how many jobs now. But, think about it. They make us work every day, yeah? And what do we buy in return? Food, shelter, which is rent, and water. And what were you left with at the end of the week? Nothing. If anything, now people are even struggling just to have them. So if you look back to like Roman times or even previous to that, the slaves in essentially. So technically we're still slaves, aren't we? But yeah, just a few things for you to think about there, guys. And just wanted to get this video out there just to let people know and just let people become aware of what's going on. Because people already are, but yeah. But I think we're going to leave it at that. But don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel because I'm doing these videos daily now. And I appreciate all the positive feedback. Thank you to everyone who does like, comment and subscribe. And don't forget to share my content as well and get this word out there because people need to know and understand what is going on. But for me, Danny D2s, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Keep pushing on, keep fighting. Peace.